Beautiful people, I had a lovely night yesterday, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you have to have a life outside of your dating life. Otherwise, you're going to overly rely on the person you're dating. Like, for example, that recent guy I met, Riley, the guy who seemed so perfect for me. I remember the day, I usually have this thing where after a date, I can get so fucking depressed. Because it's like, it's not exactly FOMO, it's just like the date will end and I'll be like, ah, that was so euphoric. And now it's over and the moment feels like it's gone now. Do I just sit here and savor it all day? And just nonstop daydream about it and then like not eat, like hardly do anything aside from just curl into the fetal position in bed and endlessly gush about how good the day was and then get depressed because I'm not doing anything further? Or like, what do I do? What can I do to like, or I'll put a bunch of pressure on myself to make it like the best day ever, to try to follow it up or one up it. Like, ooh, okay, so I have to do something, right? I have to do something to prove that I'm not just some loser who has to obsess over this man. And then I'll think to myself, fuck it, I'll be on my Maddie Perez shit. I'm gonna I'm gonna read 1,000 books and research this and write that and do this and do that. And then guess what? I end up overwhelming myself with all the pressure that I ironically to get depressed. Or sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's not even like me overloading my system with information and stress and pressure that I fucking burn out and die. It's more like sometimes it could just be like I wake up and it's like, okay, that was great. What do I do now to make myself happy? And I can't think of a single thing that could bring me joy. And it's awkward. So sometimes that happens. But the trick is with dating, you're supposed to have a life outside of yourself to be happy. Like, that's the key. Otherwise, if that person fucks you up, then your whole day or life gets fucked up. Or if, like, you need to make sure that you have, like, food in the fridge, money in your wallet, clean dishes to make food when you want, food that makes you happy and healthy, of course. And you need to make sure that you're like still taking walks in the sunshine and feeling some cool breeze on your skin and enjoying the rain, lighting some candles, maybe even like do some skincare, even just for fun. Even if you're like, oh, I don't know, my skin still looks pretty good. It could look better. Put on that face mask, baby girl. Or like just don't be afraid to try new things. Like, I get it, the rush of meeting a new person is unmatched. Sometimes you'll meet someone and you're just like, wow, that was some day like out of a movie. I've had some romantic movie-esque dates and shit. Like, I've been on the kiss cam at a Giants game, like being kissed in front of a whole stadium of people ruining and blushing. I've had nice romantic long walks. Like, even my date with Riley, that was a great date because it's like we did so much. We had a fancy Thai dinner, we went to an escape room, we went to a burlesque show for like Star Wars, The Empire Strips Back. We got matching sweaters in Chinatown, all this, all that, and it was fucking amazing. And the next day I was like, that was like something out of a movie. I wish you know how it felt to just be dressed up in a pretty red dress with my long, wavy, beautiful wig on and my sparkly jewelry and the ruby bracelet he just got me on this handsome, well dressed man's arm as we were in the back of a Tesla waiting to get like Uber to the next place over, and he got me flowers so that I could take a piece of him home. And this is all so romantic. And the moment is gone. Do I want to cherish it to the point of over cherishing and obsessing over it and him? Or like if I do try to do anything else, what, like nothing I do in my life otherwise will match that moment. But it doesn't mean you don't try. Like, I still decided, you know what, I'm going to try my best to utilize the good energy he got me and not allow myself to spiral. I'm going to just do all the shit that I feel like I usually can't do because it's like, ooh, what if I don't feed myself properly outside of the day? What if I don't shower properly? But instead it's like, no, look, you woke up early, you woke up in a great mood, you're still in a great mood. And how about you show appreciation for this man by, instead of obsessing over him and ruining, like, and putting him on a pedestal and ruining your relationship by like over romanticizing him and obsessing over him, which in turn would like give him the ick if you did that too much. How about instead you get up and you just play some music in your house, you light some like of that vanilla coconut incense you have with the cinnamon candles, and then you just play some really good music you like and love, music that even is guilty pleasure music like Bulletproof by Lavu or Mindless Self Indulgence or Lemon Demon, and you play all your quirky little bands and do your silly little dances and just take some Clorox wipes and that lemon scented spray you like, and then see how much of the like house and kitchen you can wipe down so that your counters aren't sticky. And like maybe you can even like boil some of the flowers you got to make a nice natural perfume and mop your floors. And yeah, hey, what about cleaning the toilet, because that needs to be done. And then I just simply made it a morning of productivity. to the point where I was having so much fun by myself that by the time he messaged me, I forgot. It had been hours, and I was like, oops. And I told him, yeah, I'm having a fantastic day. I'm just like cleaning up my house and dancing to music, having a great time. And we talked, and I noticed that I was still having a great time without him for the first time in ages. And then for the first time in ages, I was able to give myself an amazing morning by 1 p.m. instead of being like, by 1 p.m., sometimes I'll be so depressed that that's the only time I can really manage to force myself to get up. But I did well. And I'm just saying it's such a huge jump of progress because when I was 18, I remember I was obsessed with this guy who I don't even want to say the name of. I think he's a poison to even speak of. His name was Zach. He's a piece of shit. Zachary number two is how I call him. Zachary Uzi. Stupid piece of shit. I apologize. But yeah, he's a lame ass bitch. So what happened with him is when we first met, I remember we had this amazing day where we just spent the whole day in San Francisco trying new things out, exploring things, and it was so sweet and we had a lot of fun. Like we watched like those seals and the walruses fight at Fisherman's Wharf. We saw a contortionist performance. Like we saw so many amazing sights and had a blast. And then we had a very romantic, if I recall, we had a kiss at the end of the night at a BART station that was so cute. And funny enough, the way the trains sounded when like the train arrived for me to go home right as we were kissing. And it sounded like the screeching sounded just like the entrance to Get You by Daniel Caesar. And then my brain instantly played that song in my head as I was kissing. I was like, this is a romantic ass, dreamy scenario, and I'm so happy to be experiencing it. But guess what? You want to know what happened after that? We had made plans to meet for a second date. And if I recall, any day outside of him was just I am depressed and at home laying on my floor, staring at my tablet, hoping that he will message me back soon. I'm not eating. I'm not able to rest properly and I'm not doing well. Of course, one can blame that on my fucked up home life. Like, it's not easy. It's like, okay, I was living with my fucking abusive mother and even worse, abusive grandmother who was rubbing shit on walls and was farting all the time. And it's not like I had much privacy, space, or sanity. And, it's like, it was just the conditions of the time. And even if I were to rewind time and be put back in that situation, I'm sure it would still be kind of scary to figure out a way to leave that situation because it's not like I had everything I needed at the time. Like, I was very lucky to leave a few years ago when I did because everything was perfect. It was a pandemic. GoFundMe's were on the rise, especially for Black women in danger. And, like, I had an internet following and more. But back then, I was just some, like, fucking 17-year-old, like, in just the situation. Just, there would have been no place I could have gotten a job at. There would have been no way for me to do this or that or have the life that I do now. And I'm very grateful to have the life I have now. I'm just saying that because sadly, I am reminding myself, even if I could rewind time, I don't know how I would get myself out of that situation. Some things just had to happen that way, and it's sad. Or, okay, maybe I know what jobs I'd work if I could rewind time, but still, like, limited experience and fresh out of high school. Anyway, so I guess I'm just saying it like this. Since I didn't have a peaceful home life, it led to me obsessing over him more and seeing him as my only form of joy. But I understand because it's not like I really had a moment of peace or privacy outside of him, so I'm still giving myself grace. But even then, other times I have dated people, even like post moving out, post everything, where it's like any second that is not like with that person, I am thinking about that person endlessly. It's like an obsession. I know how it feels to be unhealthily obsessed with people. That's actually a side of myself that I will reveal in videos more over time. Some of the stories are embarrassing and stuff, but it's like, you know what? I think enough time has passed. Statute of limitations is up. And also, how do I put this? I like for people to figure out themselves if they think I'm a safe person to be around or not. I'm a magnet to some people because they know, like, I know how it feels to be abused and hurt, but I also know how it feels to be the one who's a bit terrifying. I know how that feels. And so I also am pretty good at getting people who are trying to stop being so obsessive or trying to get over people who are bad for them or who did them dirty or anything. I'm very good at getting people to, like, I'll make a video about that next, maybe even today. But it's a process to try to unpack, like, certain behaviors and mindsets that get you to that in the first place. And I know that for me, Personally, if I had a better home life, I would have never obsessed over Zach number two in the first place. I would have just been like, oh, okay, I see Zach. That was a great time. Anyway, I'm gonna cook a beautiful homemade meal. I'm gonna clean my house. I'm gonna sing and dance and paint and work on my scripts and feel great. But since I was in a fucked up, abusive environment that was not giving me any real freedom, instead I was just eating Kit Kats and Twix all the time and drinking water and having an eating disorder and feeling faint and dizzy and angry and confused. And then when I finally saw him, look, oh look, it's the guy who's like paying for my food and like kissing me and being nice to me and treating me like I'm interesting and I'm matter. Of course you're gonna obsess over him 10 times more and maybe even see him as your golden fucking ticket. And that can lead to an unhealthy pedestal in so many ways. But I guess I'll put it this way. If you're someone who's watching this and you're like, oh, I know how it feels to obsess over someone because I need an escape, because I don't like my life. Trust me, I know the last few relationships I had were seen as escapes. When I was in my relationship with my ex boyfriend Liam, it was still a fun relationship, but I could still tell, like, because he had certain, like, anything we didn't align on, I would end up, like, slowly dropping that thing because I would be like, okay, I don't want him to cause me issues over this, or and I could tell I was really losing parts of myself that I found to be vital for my personality. I wasn't being quite as outspoken. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that because I was afraid of being seen as cringe by an ex, you know, or by a boyfriend, or like that ruining things. He ended up ruining things though, so whatever. He did though. It's 100% his fault. Should have been less weird and also more hygienic. I'll talk about his shit some other day, but I respect him enough not to air him out in this video. And then I dated Morgan, and I dated Morgan because I was afraid to be alone, and I didn't think I could do anything. And also, Morgan was laying down the pipe extremely fucking well. He's a munch. What can I say? He was doing some nasty, slutty, filthy shit in bed. It was great. So, of course, naturally, also they say that for if you are AFAB, then you will be attached more during sex because your body releases the oxytocin hormone or whatever, which makes you feel more attached and like people. Someone explained it like this: sometimes, like, sex for a woman could make you obsessed with a man and love him so fast and so hard and be attached to him. But then sex for a man is like, oh, I just had sex. That felt good, like eating a cheeseburger. It's gone now, so I don't care, but like, that wasn't so bad. That disturbs me to my core. I found that out this week, and it creeps me the fuck out. The date I had last night, he said he doesn't experience that, but I'm not gambling that shit. Like, nah, we're gonna wait, buddy. If psychology says that men like it when they're made to wait and chase, then I'm gonna let you fucking do that. Anyway, so I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's like, sorry, I know I got sidetracked. The point I'm trying to make is please make sure you have as much of a good life as you can. Even if you're like, ooh, my life is really shitty right now, like, still try your best, like, even in small ways. Like, it's like, okay, maybe you live with a shitty abusive parent for a while and you don't have the most privacy. But if you know that you can make YouTube content or write or paint or draw, or if there's any time you can get out the house even without a man around, then I'd rather you be like, okay, or like without a partner around. I'd rather you be like, okay, I'm gonna take a walk around in the sunshine and then like find fruit trees in your local area and research them and walk to them and like pick them and eat fresh fruit, or like apply for like even the jobs you think are too far fetched that pay a lot of money, so that then you can sooner escape your previous household. And change is scary, it is, but at the same time your body will like it. I'm autistic. I know how it feels to hate change and hate like not routine and hate a shift in life. I do. But I remember that, how do I put this, the monotony and the suffering of the the toll that happened from living with my family for so long was imaginable, and still to this day sort of affects me, but I'm doing better about it these days. I'm being happy. I'm going outside and reminding myself I don't need permission to go outside. I can do anything I want. No one's going to beat my ass if I wear this or do this or say this. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. And then otherwise it'll be like, even inside, I'll have to remind myself, hey, home isn't something you need to escape from. It's how it felt when you were a kid and when you were younger and vulnerable, sure, but you can have your house decorated any way you want and do anything you want, and no one can beat your ass about it. Like, yeah, so make your house a home. I know you forgot how it feels to even have a house as a home, and I know you're afraid to even try after the traumaticness of like trying to make your own house better or bedroom better, and that was the day you got attacked by your mother when you were so close to being done. But hey, you can still try again. Please try again. So, but I guess that was just a little speech for myself. What I'm trying to say is put in an effort to make your life fully well rounded. Because my healthiest relationships and the easiest times I've been able to leave people were when I was like not desperate. Like, because if you're desperate, you'll stay with the wrong people because they're the ones feeding you and you can't bite the hand that feeds you, even if biting them were the best thing that you could do. Like, I probably would have not dated Jared for as long as I did if I did have like food at home and a healthy, like, stable house life presently, and didn't have the complications of like unemployment and whatever that I previously had early in the year and at the last part of last year. I probably like, so you'll be more susceptible to like bad people, or you might scare away good ones by being too clingy and obsessive and using them for like, okay, they're the ones feeding me, clothing me, doing this for me, that for me, and they can grow resentful of that or feel used, or just instead of it feeling like a natural romantic relationship, it feels like they're taking care of a pet, or like that is unstable and is gonna like fucking bite them or something if they don't keep feeding them. And that's not good. So I guess if you're seeing this, I guess just like if you can make a list of like things that you have always wanted to try, and make a list of things that you would like to do or wish you were comfortable doing alone, and try it out. It's not as scary as you think. Like, and also the more you can spend time by yourself too, or like meet new friendships and make new friends and try new things, the better of a person and more confident you will be. You'll feel more like you won't have like your oxytocin or whatever making you super attached to just one person, because you'll be like, I don't need this guy around just because my family's bad, because I have all these other friends who I can meet with and see who make me feel stable and well rounded. Make sure your friends are high quality. Make sure the food you're eating is high quality so you don't have a vitamin deficiency and like are just spiraling and overusing the whatever guy you're seeing for nutrients or resources. Make sure that your home is nice. Make sure that the people around you are good. And even if it's not, then maybe take a break from dating, or you could date but then just also grind really hard to try to get out of whatever bad situation you're in. Like, do the therapy, read the books, take the like just do what you need so that you can survive and thrive in life. Because trust me when I say that person you're probably obsessing about, if they are all that, then you wouldn't need to be spiraling like this, I don't feel like, because they would help you out. Or but usually, but like that's kind of vague, I don't know your situation, but like for me personally I can at least say, if anyone that I was truly obsessed over was truly worth it, I wouldn't feel the need to even be driven to madness by them so easily. I would have had healthier communication. They would have been more understanding, this, and that. But at the same time, usually, like, if they were all that, well, we just weren't long term compatible. And because of my situation and my mental health, and like, I'm holding myself accountable by being like, okay, if this person was perfect for me, I definitely did scare them off because I sadly was a bit too much at once and didn't have certain things resolved. But at the same time, it's like if they were also a good person for me, things probably would have worked out. Like, it would have been like several red flags would have not been missed if, and this and that would have happened. And yeah, it's like if they, simply put, the person you are putting on a pedestal, they're human just like you. They'll make messes and fuck up just like you. They might fuck up harder than you, they might fuck up less hard than you. But the matter of the story is maybe you just weren't compatible, or maybe just wrong time, wrong place. But I know how it feels to get attached to people who are wrong for you, and you won't notice if you're too busy thinking that they're perfect because you have an abusive home life or a fucked up, boring life, so they bring excitement or food or joy or love or some sort of stability. And even though they're subtracting from your mental health, you still think that's normal from your environment, or because you think it's better than just being alone and like facing your demons by yourself or whatever. And like, simply put, like, if you have a well-rounded life, you will not quite like I would, if I had a more well-rounded life, I would have been blocking a lot of these niggas sooner. They would have not even had the time of my day. Like if I had the financial stability, the mental health, the stable libido, and like didn't have any PTSD or trauma I was escaping from, then a lot of these niggas would have just been like, oh hi Tamia, I'm gonna show signs that I'm overly horny. I would have just been like, I'm gonna fucking block you. Instead of, ooh, well, I don't know, maybe a day, or maybe I could show them the right way to treat me. No, no, they will not change. They will get worse, actually. Anyway, sorry if I said anything weird. I'm also happy to explain some things. But simply put, what I'm saying is, like, if these niggas were really perfect for you, or great for you, then like like if they are good for you, then cool, just like make sure you have good things outside of them. Otherwise, like let's say they have to cancel a date that you like, would you rather it be like, oh no, I waited all week for their date and I couldn't eat or sleep because I was so stressed, and then leading up to the date I was so excited that I couldn't do anything for like hours until like the date was about to start, but then he canceled on me last minute. Oh no, it feels like I just wasted my life and I shouldn't live, I should fucking kill myself. Or would you rather it be like, oh, my date canceled, it's okay. Like, if anything, I can just hang out with my friends tonight, or do this alone, or do that alone, and have a perfectly pleasant evening. Because I have a perfectly amazing life, and I've been having fun all week, regardless of if this person's around or not. Like, they add to your life, not subtract it. But they also, like, even if they weren't around, your life would still be plenty full, you know? I guess that's trying to be what I'm saying. And just like, yeah, sometimes you think that someone could be wonderful and great for you. Like, not everything that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's fool's gold. And I would have been able to see which people were right for me or not right for me a lot sooner had I basically had a more stable environment. So I guess what I'm saying is work on being happy. Like, even if you have a perfectly healthy life, just if you might not be the happiest person about yourself, or have things you want to change, or just simply you might need some new hobbies and stuff, like, it's okay. Like, I remember I was recently tripping out over Wiley, and I was thinking, okay, do I just crash out again? I've already crashed out recently plenty of times. What should I do? Do I go insane and nut jobby, or do I just, like, what do I do? Do I block him? I don't know if the transgression was enough to block him over, but I do feel spited. What do I do next? And I just told myself, hey, how about instead of focusing on this fake ass drama that isn't really drama because I can't change it, so what the fuck is up? How about I just simply, like, I just opened up the app Webtoon and I read some good ass web comics, and then yeah, by the time my shift at work was over, I no longer had chest pains or wanted to cry because I was just thinking, wow, this story is fucking amazing. This is hilarious as fuck. I love this and I can't wait for more chapters. And then it went on that way, and then, like, yeah, and then I had a nice meal, and then I took a nice nap, and then I went out for a cool outing last night where I met a bunch of awesome people, and I had a fantastic time. Where now I keep even forgetting that I was even stressed about Riley in the first place, because I was putting in the groundwork to have a well-rounded life. Like, I took down my braids, I started rocking my natural afro again. I wore like a super cute outfit that I liked. I went to an amazing venue. Just simply put, I laid down the groundwork to actually make sure that they were not going to be my one and only targeted obsession. And that's what you have to do. You have to, like, if you're going to be dating, make sure that if they were to cancel on you, you still have alternative plans, so that even if they did it absolutely last second or ghosted you, you don't feel so depressed that you want to just take yourself off the planet or like set someone's car on fire. You want to just be so zen that it's like, oh, okay, I think they're ghosting me. I'm just going to block them and report them on Bumble for standing me up, and I'm going to just simply relax. And I'm gonna spend the night watching like cool esoteric movies and working on my screenplay and drinking like little bits of wine with some cake I just baked, and I'm gonna have a fantastic time. And then I'm gonna sleep after a nice romantic shower, and I'm gonna light some candles and just vibe. And frankly, I'd rather you have that than just like rotting in your apartment with like piss cups, just like, oof, I feel miserable. My life should end. Ah, why is living a thing? I'd rather you be happy. Put down the groundwork to be happy, okay? Alright, peace out.